Like to call the meeting to order. Mrs. Burns, roll call, please.
Mr. Sullivan?
Present.
Mrs. Hallenbeck?
Present.
Mr. Allen?
Present.
Mrs. Brochus? Here. Mrs. Lafferty is absent with prior notice. Mrs. Marshall?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez? Here. Mr. Sporny?
Here.
And Mrs. Waldweiser is also absent with present notice. We have a quorum.
The board met in executive session this evening prior to this meeting to discuss matters related to personnel, including personnel in the district music program and other personnel matters, confidential student matters, and potential litigation. Mrs. Burns, any announcements?
No announcements.
Thank you. Mr. Bowman, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I am going to turn things over to Dr. Burkholder and Dr. Hinshaw to present our 24-25 Teacher Recognition Awards.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to present the 2025 Neshaminy Teacher Recognition Awards. Each year we come together to celebrate the exceptional teachers within our district. Educators whose classrooms demonstrate excellence, leadership, innovation, and community impact, not only within the classroom, but also within the community. The Teacher Recognition Awards honor individuals who go above and beyond. For the 2025 awards, they were submitted by fellow staff members within the distinct categories of the following four: leadership, innovation, community partnership, and the spirit of Neshaminy. To introduce this year's award categories and recipients, I'd like to welcome Dr. Hinshaw, who will now provide an overview of each category.
The first category is Leadership Award. This award recognizes teachers who foster a collaborative classroom culture, promote instructional excellence, and inspire growth in professional practice among peers. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Amy Orlando to present the Leadership Award recipient.
Good evening. Thank you for having me this evening. It is my pleasure to tell you a little bit about Megan Cahill, one of our second grade teachers at Albert Schweitzer. Mrs. Megan Cahill is an instructional leader on her second grade team. Can Megan come up? Megan, come up. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Mrs. Megan Cahill is an instructional leader on her second grade team at Schweitzer. She is an active listener and participant during building level and district level professional development, and she is always willing to share resources and tools she has created for her classroom with her peers. I have sent new and experienced teachers into her classroom to watch Megan model effective ways to manage and teach small guided reading and small guided math groups, as well as watch how she communicates classroom procedures and expectations to students. She is effective at utilizing data-driven instruction to create appropriate small groups and differentiate instruction to help students grow. After analyzing individual student and classroom level data, Mrs. Cahill brings pertinent data points to meetings to help review next steps for students and ultimately improve her instruction. Mrs. Cahill came to Neshaminy with background and experience as a kindergarten teacher. She has served as a third grade teacher and is currently a second grade teacher at Albert Schweitzer. She exemplifies strong instructional strategies to motivate and differentiate for her students. One thing I appreciate most about her is her approach to teaching and learning and the connections and relationships she builds with her students and families. They love her. They love her for good reasons, because she is kind and caring toward her students, has high expectations of them, and communicates regularly with families about what is going on daily and weekly in the classroom. Mrs. Cahill communicates ways families can best support their students in school and at home to work in partnership in supporting her students. Megan served on the recent Literacy Review Committee in selecting a new elementary ELA program. Mrs. Cahill worked with colleagues, grade level peers, and instructional coaches to implement the program with fidelity and offer constructive feedback for the pilot program. She participated regularly at pilot meetings and was willing to try new strategies as well as listen to feedback on how to best implement and utilize resources from the program. Mrs. Cahill also serves as a mentor and a leader in our building, speaks openly at our faculty meetings to offer suggestions and guidance. And lastly, Megan brings a positive attitude to school every single day. She supports her students, her second grade team, and our building in any way she can. She's a true team player, and we are certainly lucky to have her at Schweitzer. Thank you, Megan.
The next award is the Innovation Award. This award honors educators who embrace forward-thinking practices and pioneer innovative teaching strategies that lead to measurable student success. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Steve Garska to present the Innovation Award recipient.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I am excited to be presenting Mrs. Carrie Hammond for the Innovation Award tonight. Mrs. Hammond is a dedicated science teacher who is always looking for ways to keep students engaged. Mrs. Hammond attends conferences and volunteers to lead professional development sessions for members of the science department in order to help her share what she has learned. Mrs. Hammond was also nominated by multiple peers. Here is what one peer had to say. Carrie has done an outstanding job of embracing the new Science Steel standards and all the changes to the science curriculum they are bringing. She has spent many hours developing new educational materials and implementing new instructional strategies such as using modeling mats and rewriting labs to help improve student learning in the context of the requirements of the new standards. She has attended conferences to learn about how best to use strategies such as modeling, student-led discovery, GRC, which stands for Gather, Reasoning, and Communicate Reasoning, in her classrooms. She has developed lessons where she is actively embedding the cross-cutting concepts such as models, scale and proportion, and stability and change to engage her students in active learning about phenomena and content. Beyond the time she has spent working to adapt her teaching style and her classroom to new standards, she has also been willing to guide and support her colleagues through this process, and has been willing to share both her knowledge about it as well as her newly created lessons and labs. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Carrie Hammond, your 2025 Innovation Award recipient.
Next up is the Community Partnership Award. This award celebrates teachers who engage in meaningful partnerships with families and the broader community through volunteerism, service, and civic collaboration, helping strengthen the support systems that serve our children. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Derek Albaran to present the Community Partnership Award recipient.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor to present to you Kelly Alberts, who has won the award for community partnerships. For the past 20 years, Ms. Kelly Alberts has dedicated herself to working with a special population of students, and she has mastered the art of helping them thrive both inside and outside of the classroom. Kelly's approach goes beyond academics. She actively involves her students in serving and connecting with the broader Neshaminy community. Her students make lunches for the homeless in collaboration with the Retired Neshaminy Teachers Charitable Organization. They've also organized a fundraiser to support the Women's Humane Society, making and selling homemade dog treats to their fellow students and staff. Kelly's work doesn't stop there. She helps students and their families connect with essential community services. One particularly meaningful example is the Shop with a Cop program. Working alongside Officer Missy Robinson, Kelly helps families apply them volunteers the day of the event shopping, wrapping gifts, taking photos, and chatting with families. She also brings her current and former students to monthly life skills dances at Truman High School and coaches the Special Olympics track team, leading training sessions and cheering her students on each spring. Kelly's teaching shines brightest in her community-based instruction program. Every Friday, students take turns cooking lunches for their class, starting with planning a menu, creating a grocery list, and walking to the local store to shop and pay. Around the holidays, Kelly plans trips for students to shop for family gifts and meet Santa. These experiences teach real-world skills and foster independence. She also sponsors Sandberg's Buddy Club, a social group where students of all backgrounds come together to build friendships and connect in meaningful ways. Kelly understands the unique challenges her students may face as they grow older. She works tirelessly to ensure they are equipped with the skills, confidence, and support they need to transition into adulthood. She empowers them to make a difference, access the resources around them, and build strong ties with their community. Please join me in honoring a truly inspiring educator, Kelly Alberts.
The last award is Spirit of Neshaminy Award. This award is given to a teacher who inspires students to grow, achieve, and thrive, both inside and outside the classroom. Their dedication has a transformative impact on students' lives, embodying the true spirit of Neshaminy. Now I would like to bring Mr. Garska back up to present the Spirit of Neshaminy Award.
Hello again. It is my pleasure to also present to you tonight this year's recipient of the Spirit of Neshaminy Award, Miss McKenna Mullen. Miss Mullen is a member of the Special Programs team at Neshaminy High School and has dedicated so much of her time to providing some of our most challenged students with opportunities to be like every other kid in the building while providing them with opportunities to build the skills they need to grow and care for themselves. Miss Mullen was also nominated more than once by her colleagues for this award. Here are two excerpts from her nominations. I recommend McKenna Mullen for the Spirit of Neshaminy Award. McKenna embodies the values of dedication, compassion, and leadership that define the Neshaminy community, and her contributions leave a lasting mark on our students and programs. Another colleague said, McKenna's impact goes even deeper through her work as the founder and leader of the Neshaminy Unified Track Team. McKenna built the program from the ground up. Her vision created a space where athletes of varying abilities can train, compete, and grow together as equals. Through her tireless efforts, the Unified Track program has flourished, becoming a source of pride for the entire school community. She has also worked diligently to expand its reach into the district's middle schools. Her advocacy has opened new doors for younger students, promoting the values of empathy, inclusion, and teamwork from an early age. Please join me in congratulating Spirit of Neshaminy Award winner McKenna Mullen.
That will bring us to the first public comment period. Before we commence that, our solicitor has some comments.
So good evening. We do know at least one of the reasons for the large turnout, and we've had public comment, significant public comment, the last two public meetings. So I just want to go over a few items for clarification so that everyone will understand the process and understand why or why not certain things that they might expect would happen. So I'd like to clarify that the board is not in a position to be able to respond to your comments. You certainly will have the full hour for the first public comment period. Everyone will be limited to 3 minutes. There will be an opportunity for a second public comment period, and I can go over those rules in a moment. But under advice of counsel, the board is not being evasive, but rather they're following the advice of counsel to not comment on a personnel matter and a personnel decision. And that's standard practice. Typically, the board is advised not to comment on litigation, personnel decisions, or student-specific matters. So just wanted to clarify that they are following the legal advice of counsel. Regarding the second period, there's an additional period, but it is limited to 3 minutes per speaker as well, and it's prior to the adjournment of the meeting. The registered speakers who have not spoken will have the opportunity to speak first and use their 3 minutes, and they will be counted as first session speakers. But your speakers are not permitted to speak more than once during the comment period. We want to make sure that people have a chance to speak if they'd like to, and when people comment twice, it may prevent someone else from having a chance to speak. And that's all part of the district's public policies, which you can look up online anytime you're about to come to a meeting or after the meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe there's 18 people signed up for the first period, so give or take 3 minutes, that should take us to the hour. So we'll get everybody in, even if we're running close to the hour, get all 18 in. And then whoever doesn't get in, we'll bring you in the second period. The second period's limited to 30 minutes. Second, okay. Mrs. Burns, first person.
Tony Harvey?
And I'm just going to say, just when you approach the podium, just your name and where you live. That way I don't have to say it every time. Thank you.
Tony Harvey, 46-year resident of Lower South, Neshaminy alumni, class of 97. 2 children in the district, rising freshman, rising 8th grader, both heavily involved in the music program. Thank you, Mr. Bowman and the school board, for allowing myself and all the people in this room to speak tonight. I'm here to express my concern not with you directly, but your administrative cabinet's recent behavior and the disrespect shown towards our music staff, a group that means a great deal to me. At last week's meeting, a board member incorrectly stated that our music staff has been aware of proposed cuts and staffing changes since December. The truth is, the music teachers, including their lead, first heard about this less than a month ago. During a Zoom meeting, they were informed that one teacher would be forcibly transferred, and shockingly, Mrs. Cassidy, our outstanding lead music teacher, she was barred from attending the meeting. Her exclusion raises significant concerns. The remaining itinerants were promised their building assignments and teaching schedules by June with reassurances that they would have input in the processes by Mrs. Burkholder. Ms. Cassidy even prepared 5 scenarios to minimize the disruption for teachers and students, focusing on what was best for them. But unfortunately, her expert advice was completely ignored. Instead, the cabinet's plan disrupts nearly every elementary school and forces veteran teachers to teach outside their hired specialties. For instance, Mr. Russell, a band director, is now expected to teach strings, which is not his area of expertise. In doing so, it's stripping Mrs. Lewis away from her Furta bar after everything that she has built over the last decade. She had 90 students and counting there last year, spread over 2 days. But Mr. Russell, again a band director, is supposed to teach them in one. Make it make sense. Mr. Cassidy, who has diligently built the band program post-COVID at Poquessing, is facing an impossible schedule, being assigned Furta bar 4th grade, which he is expected to teach in one day, on top of the 5th grade band being dumped on his schedule. Again, he is expected to do this in one day, while Mr. Weiner required 2. Who is going to suffer? The students. And while we're at it, let us not forget the 6th through 8th grade band that Mr. Cassidy already has, as well as the jazz band. How is he supposed to get our upperclassmen next year, our 8th graders, prepared for the high school bands when he has been bombarded with more students? This directly affects the students, including my son, who will not receive the focused instruction they need. Did you know that Mr. Weiner expanded the Furta bar band to 35 students last year? The highest in years. Despite being a beloved band teacher with over 20 years in the district, he's being moved from Furta bar to Court Creek 3 days to teach strings. Although he can teach strings, it's not his specialty. He was hired for band. He's an outstanding trombone player, by the way, and his music is truly moving. This poorly executed plan impacts the students the most. I'm here to question why this was handled so poorly and why Mrs. Cassidy was excluded from such a crucial process. Our children, including my son, bear the consequences of these decisions. Your cabinet is expected to reflect the values of dignity, respect, and decision-making in the best interests of the students. It is time for the board to hold them accountable for these missteps. Please remember, you represent us, the taxpayers, the voters, and we rely on you to make a positive difference and rectify these wrongs. Some people think that I'm feisty, but my daughter, who started her middle school years here and ended them here addressing the school board, she would have been here tonight, but she's at marching band. She'll be a voting age in 2028 in 3 years, her senior year in high school. And as Mr. Hunt said on Friday, she has a fire inside her more than I ever had. Thank you.
Adelia Hunter? Adelia Hunter?
Good evening. My name is Adelia Hunter. I live in Feasterville, Trevose. I'm a current junior at the high school and serve as the vice president for both our chapter of the Tri-M National Music Honor Society and the orchestra program. I've been playing the violin for nearly a decade and have had the privilege of receiving a stellar music education from Neshaminy. The decision made in terms of staffing at the elementary and middle school levels will not affect me at all. I'm simply here to highlight the importance of our outstanding program. Learning the violin has given me a strong foundation of important life skills, including discipline, perseverance, time management, and organization. Even though I do not plan on pursuing a music-related career, the work ethic I have built through learning the violin has helped me succeed as I enter the field of STEM. My teachers are to thank for this. Throughout the years, my music directors have offered support, encouragement, and pushed me to be my best. Many of the music teachers already rotate between multiple schools each week, but they still find the time to build positive relationships with each of their students. My concern is that the realignment of teachers will hinder their abilities to provide the best possible educational experience. Additionally, moving them around so they cannot teach in their areas of expertise will impact the strong foundation that needs to be built in elementary school when learning an instrument. By moving teachers around, they are unable to maintain a consistent relationship with their students. I, like many others, have had the privilege of working with the same teacher for my entirety of elementary and middle school, and She's here tonight, and I love her so much. But please work with the music teachers to configure their assignments in a way that makes sense, even if the budget does not allow for you to replace the retired music teacher. Our music program is nationally recognized for its success. The decades of dedication and effort put into making this program what it is now will be wasted if the appropriate staff are not teaching in their areas of expertise. Through my work in Triumph, where we raise money for districts with underfunded music programs and provide the gift of music to our community, I've learned just how grateful we should be for our successes. I will not pretend that I understand the complexities of our budget, but I have tried to listen to both sides of the issue. I know this decision was not taken lightly. I know the board is trying to figure out what the best decision is for our community. However, as a district who believes that a quality education is a right, it is a contradictory statement to limit the resources of a program that contributes to the excellent comprehensive education that we offer. All students, whether they involved with athletics, music, drama, debate, or other activities, should have the opportunity to participate in a program that receives the proper staffing and resources. Please act in the best interest of both our students and our teachers. I thank you for your time and consideration.
John Anastasi. John Anastasi.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. This is the first time I've ever addressed a school board, so. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is John Anastasi. I live at 56 Osmond Turn in the Langhorne section of Middletown Township. As I haven't spoken at one of these meetings before, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the school board for their service to the children of this community. I know that you guys are not here for the applause and for the great salary you make here, but we definitely do appreciate you devoting yourselves to this endeavor because it is very valuable. I'm here, I have my son Luke is a second grader. He's finishing up his time at Tawanka Elementary School. He will be joining the Core Creek community in September. Luke is a fantastic kid. He music and arts all the way, and a year ago he started taking bass. He's the stand-up double bass as an instrument, and he's been taking lessons. And don't get the wrong idea; he's not going to the conservatory and practicing 3 hours a day. But his teacher is a college kid who's doing it for pizza money. It's basically long and short of it. So was really looking forward to getting into Core Creek and continuing his time as a string player there. He is somebody who he hasn't talked about being redistricted from Tawanka because we're in the old Heckman group. So he'll be redistricted from Tawanka over to Core Creek. He hasn't talked much about it, but music is an important part of his life, and he communicated it in the form of a song. He wrote a song about saying goodbye to his friends there. So he's really into music and really wants to continue that. And it's a little bit concerning, heartbreaking, disappointing to hear that he will be taking his string class from a band teacher. It's not, certainly no disrespect. I've heard nothing but good things about Mr. Weiner. But you know, he and his classmates who are going to Core Creek and taking strings will come out of that situation at a disadvantage when you compare them to the students who are taking lessons from people who've made it their career to teach strings. And, you know, that's not equity. It's not. And so he will do what he needs to do. But the idea of we wouldn't tell the swim coach to coach volleyball. Like, I get it, they're both sports, just like strings and band are both music. Sure. But what we have here is a situation where square pegs are being fitted into round holes. And that's not to the benefit of a great music program. And it's not to the benefit of the teachers. It does nothing to help their culture and their job satisfaction. They won't feel supported. They won't feel valued. And that's really important, so I hope you'll reconsider.
Valerie Graves. Valerie Graves.
Hi, I'm Valerie Graves. I'm a resident in Levittown, Pennsylvania. I have 2 children that attend Carl Sandburg Middle School. Thank you all for allowing the parents and the community to come today to speak on this matter, and we hope that we do receive your support with this issue. I believe the community was under the impression that following the request to meet with the lead music teacher, the administration would seriously consider one of the 5 proposed plans submitted to Mr. Bowman, Ms. Burkholder, and Dr. Hinshaw. Instead, we were surprised and disappointed to learn that the administration moved forward with reassigning the strings teacher without engaging with any of the options that were thoughtfully presented by the lead teacher. This decision has not only upset the community, as you can see, but it has also deepened the disconnect between the administration and the district's music educators who are here tonight. It is deeply concerning that the professional opinions of the very teachers responsible for our students' musical education were disregarded in favor of what appears to be a purely numbers-driven decision. What's even more disheartening is that none of the 3 administrators followed up with the lead teacher after receiving her detailed plans and no constructive feedback. Instead, the strings teacher was notified by email that she would be involuntarily reassigned. As a parent, this approach feels cold and dismissive, and it raises serious questions about transparency and respect within this process. Our community has come together to express not just our frustration, but our well-reasoned concerns and recommendations. Yet we're met with finger pointing from the board to the administration and from the administration to the budgeting committee. This lack of ownership is damaging our trust in those making decisions for our children's futures. We understand the budget does not allow the position to come back. We strongly urge you to consider this decision presented by our lead teacher. Forcing teachers with no experience in strings to now lead instruction in this area not only undermines the quality of music education, it also jeopardizes the future of our entire program. Our children deserve to learn from qualified, passionate educators, especially in such specialized fields of study. On behalf of many concerned parents and community members, I respectfully ask that you reevaluate the course of action before irreparable harm is done to Neshaminy music programs. Collaboration is key with peers and within the Neshaminy community. Please, please collaborate with the teachers teaching all of our children. Thank you.
Alexis Cassidy. Alexis Cassidy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alexis Cassidy. I teach elementary general and vocal music at Core Creek Elementary School and serve as the lead teacher of music in our school district. I'm a very proud educator, and I'm fortunate enough to teach over 600 students each week. It is the privilege of my life to foster joy through music and hold young musicians to high standards of excellence. As lead teacher, I strive to be a solutions-oriented advocate, one who builds bridges between the music department and district leadership. This year, I've worked tirelessly to design professional development plans, make sure our department is well-run and has all it needs, try to involve myself in conversations about staffing and scheduling, and much more, all with the common goal I believe we all share, to provide the absolute best education possible to all Neshaminy students. Despite these efforts, I've encountered significant obstacles. I've been prevented from attending meetings required for my itinerant instrumental colleagues. I've been treated differently from my predecessors, and plans I've proposed for equitable scheduling, rooted in both data and student-centered logic, have been rejected. I was even told that I should, quote, make allies with CNI so that I get more yeses in the future, end quote. That statement kept me from speaking at past meetings, but I'm here now because my duty to advocate for the music department is stronger than my fear. We all share the responsibility to ensure that we do not limit student access to high-quality instrumental instruction and that we provide as much consistency and stability as possible. Unfortunately, the proposed building assignments for the music department do exactly the opposite. I have some materials if you want to peruse. They limit access, decrease instructional efficacy, and threaten to dismantle the continuity we worked so hard to build. The excessive number of transfers feels arbitrary, and the resulting loss of program continuity is unacceptable. Collaboration and communication, the kind our students deserved, are not occurring as they should. These proposed changes don't just reshuffle teachers, they force some to teach outside of their hired specialties, as you've heard. They increase student to teacher ratios in ways that reduce our ability to offer thoughtful, differentiated instruction. In some schools, instrumental teachers are going from 2 days of instruction to 1, with barely any reduction in student load. In others, we are seeing string specialists replaced with band teachers who have not taught string instruments in several years or ever within their professional career. And across the board, we are seeing feeder patterns disrupted, with 4th grade students taught by teachers who won't follow them into 5th grade. Imagine being an incoming 4th grader at Fertibar who used to learn cello from Mrs. Lewis in 3rd grade, who was there 2 days a week. Now that same student must switch to violin or viola simply because there is not space for a cello group, since Mr. Russell, a band specialist, will only be given 1 day for all 3rd and 4th grade strings in that confined space, which you can find on the last page. Details about each instructional space of all the schools. Mrs. Lewis had 90 students participate in strings at Fertibar this year, despite it being one of our district's smallest schools. Band instruction, also with a new director, Mr. Cassidy, will also only be given 1 day when Mr. Weiner previously had 1.5 days this school year. The same child at Fertibar may want to start a band instrument, but only a select number of students can sign up. Other students may be turned away due to room size and scheduling limits. We will be forced to set enrollment caps for instrumental music for the first time across multiple buildings, as projected, not because of lack of interest, but because of logistical strain. That is not what equity looks like. Let's be clear. This is no longer about losing one teaching position. While that reduction from 10 to 9 itinerant instrumental teachers is itself deeply damaging, what is more troubling is how the aftermath has been handled and what that handling reveals. We, the educators most closely connected to our students, were told we'd be part of the process to rebuild the schedule. We proposed a solution that absorbed the additional caseload, over 250 string students, with as few changes to building assignments as possible. Though not ideal, our plan made the best of a difficult situation by minimizing disruption and retaining as much instructional continuity as possible. This is labeled within the provided materials as alternative plan on page 4. It's also important to note that band and string specialists should not be assigned equal numbers just for the sake of fairness. Orchestra programs include 4 instruments. Band, on the other hand, includes 7 to 10, which requires more groups. Equal isn't always equitable, and treating them the same leads to logistical and educational strain. We had hoped that our expertise, our deep knowledge of students and building needs, and our demonstrated ability to make it work would have been taken into account. We are the ones intimately connected to the moving parts of the program, and yet we were not meaningfully involved. Instead, nearly every one of the 9 remaining itinerant teachers has been involuntarily reassigned, with some being told via text message from colleagues. These decisions have sent a very clear message to the music department that our voices and expertise are not valued. Student access to band and orchestra will go down. There is no way around it. Instructional consistency will decline. Morale will suffer. Caseloads are still inequitable, and these changes will reverberate to years to come. This is not just about staff assignments. It's about how a nationally recognized award-winning music department, one that has earned Best Communities for Music Education 9 years in a row, how we are being communicated with and treated. What does support look like? Does it look like cutting the instrument repair and replacement budget by 40%? Does it look like excluding the lead teacher from staffing discussions? Does it look like forcing enrollment caps on students eager to play? Does it look like valuing efficiency over quality or control over collaboration? We know what effective instruction looks like. We know how to protect and nurture the long-term health of our programs. And we know that the staffing scenario we are presenting to you tonight, designed by the educators who work directly with these students, is what's best for maintaining the excellence our families and our community expect and deserve. It absorbs the increased caseload, lessens disruptive transfers, preserves feeder alignment, and better balances teacher loads across buildings. It is student-focused. It makes sense. So once again, I'm almost done. We implore the administrations and our elected board members to do what is right for the students of Neshaminy, adopt the staffing plan created by the very educators who have built and maintained this strong, vibrant program. Let us continue to provide Neshaminy students with the opportunities, the access, and the excellence they deserve. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have or offer clarity.
Michael Leach. Michael Leach.
My name is Michael Leach, Levittown in the Gates. Oh, yeah, or that, yeah. All right. I wrote down a good amount of stuff, but overall, it's that a lot of the things that I had to say were actually brought up. What I will jump into, well, I have an 8th and a 6th grader, both involved in music heavily in this district. I myself was a vocal performance major in school, so very much a music person myself. I was here last week. We had kind of like a back and forth, this different setting, right? I was told by a few, because there were only a few board members, that they're going by the numbers. So it was tough for me. At that point, I'm like, all right, I can get that. I'm a numbers guy. We're going by the numbers. So it's the information they're getting. I can't be mad at them for not understanding. They're not music people. They don't know how this goes. So we kind of all, as a group, said, well, I guess we got to take a look over towards the admin or where they're getting their information from. We were told, though, that the information you guys got, and I guess they can correct me if I'm wrong later, but we were told during that meeting that there weren't going to be any changes to the actual instruction. There were people that didn't have enough people in their caseload, whatever, and we were going to even out the numbers, and it was going to be the same thing, right? And at that point, I was first worried to start with because, again, we had board member-wise, again, not their fault. We have one person, I think, that has any type of experience in music there. I'm very interested to know how many of the admin have any music experience, if any. But to understand what it actually takes to teach an instrument, like she was bringing up the fact of having string people teach strings and not band people teach strings that haven't done it in 30 years. It's probably not going to be the same instruction. Within 2 days of this meeting, so I guess it was Friday, I started hearing of the fact that the whole, instead of 2 lessons a week, the orchestra kids in elementary school will get 1. Again, that's not a music thing. Math, 2, 1, very different, right? Half as much, very simple. So that's very much not what, at least unless the board was lying about, not the numbers they were getting and not the stuff they were told. So to me, it's a very simple thing. I think it's next week comes around and it's time to vote on your budget, that you have to vote no and demand that you get proper information and get input from people that know what they're doing. I would hope within all of your jobs, whether it's here or somewhere else, that you are getting input from people that know what they're doing and know what the effect is on the programs that they're involved with. This is something that won't affect my 6th and 8th grader, because what you'll see is for the next few years, and Neshaminy will still win those awards the next few years, but those kids getting the instruction in elementary school, when they get up to middle school, and all of a sudden you're like, man, this middle school, like, it's not quite what it used to be, right? And then we're not getting the awards, and now you're 4 years behind getting it back up to where it was, if the budget allows it to get back there, and you have to bring on someone else instead of going with, the advice of people that know what they're doing in their field. Thank you.
Helen Kirsch. Helen Kirsch. Okay. The next one then is, I'm not sure, but the first name, last name Costa. The first name starts with an A. The last name's Costa. No? Todd Heverish? Yes. No?
No, just go, we gotta get on the order first.
Heather Rodenheiser? Okay. Rich Walsh? No. Noah Wells? Okay. Alex, I'm not sure the last name, D-E-U, I think. Durish? No?
Did anyone sign up for the first comment period that hasn't spoken yet? Okay, pick who goes first then, okay? We'll do it that way. And one, yeah.
Can I move this down? Yes, absolutely. Hello, my name is Lorelai Mindy, 27 Canal Road. I'm a senior at Neshaminy High School, and in the fall I'll be attending Temple University for music education in hopes to one day become an elementary school music teacher. When I was learning how to play an instrument in elementary and middle school, I did not attend Neshaminy until the latter half of middle school. I've experienced firsthand the effects of having teachers in positions that could not teach me to the best of their ability. When I entered the music program at Neshaminy High School, I was eons behind my classmates because of the lack of experience I had in those beginning years. Thankfully, the staff of the high school was wonderful and kept me practicing and learning in music. The early stages of any child is the most influential when it comes to learning, and is no different when it comes for children in music. Which is why it is so important to keep the teachers in their specific fields. In return, help support students in their learning of music. Thank you.
They said her name's Taylor. She's coming. Yep, she's coming.
Hi, my name is Taylor McCoy from Langhorne. I've been an orchestra member of Neshaminy's music department for the last 8 years. For the last 3 of those, I've been the principal cellist in the select string orchestra, and I've just been appointed as president of the high school string department. My music journey started in elementary school and has played a huge part in my life. It was this program that gave me such a solid foundation in learning my instrument and the fundamental experience of playing in an orchestra. That foundation offers so many of these students. It offers a community, provides a home, and it fosters a place of early friendships. Eventually, along my journey with music and the support of my teachers, I realized that my passion in life was music. By 5th grade, I decided I wanted to be a music teacher and share my passion with future students. As a result, I not only have a personal perspective as a student, but I also appreciate what that means for the teachers affected by these changes. With the current plan, our teachers are being placed in an impossible position, requiring them to fill areas other than their specialty they were hired to teach. I would not be the player I am today if I did not receive a solid foundation in elementary school. I am sure many of my peers would agree with me when I say that being taught by only teachers who specialize in their respective departments and having private lesson opportunities has been an instrumental foundation in our music journeys. The passions these teachers feel may not be as apparent when they have not expanded their roles outside of their specialty. In my personal experience, having a string player teach string students is vital to fostering that relationship and in understanding the complexities of learning the instrument. The quality of support and instruction is going to leave the students, teachers, and parents frustrated. Unfortunately, this may lead to more students wanting to give up playing and an overall reduction in the student participation and quality of playing by the time the students get to the high school, which is currently an award-winning orchestra. This will be a detriment to the future students of Neshaminy. As it is, they're only getting 30 minutes lessons weekly. With the new proposed plan, the music staff will be stretched thin, increasing the class size and limiting the availability of music lessons and participation in these programs to elementary and some middle schools. These changes are likely to diminish the quality of those weekly lessons. Our beloved and award-winning program will see a steepening decline, which will have rippling effects from within the Neshaminy music community for years to come. I appreciate you listening to me and all of my peers. I strongly hope that you will reconsider the current realignment so that Neshaminy can continue to give its students quality music education and the solid support our teachers deserve. Throughout the years, they worked tirelessly for their students and supported us. Now, it's time to support them. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Romeo Angelini. I live in Langhorne, and I'm a senior here at Neshaminy, graduating tomorrow. I'm a Maple Point alum, and I started my music education back at Heckman Elementary School in 2016. Neshaminy's music program has shaped my growth and development, from participating in choir to band to the orchestra. Through these programs, I've learned real skills applicable to my development as a student and a citizen. I've learned how to use empathy and work with others, how to effectively express my ideas, and I've learned to have confidence and advocate for myself. I truly believe that there's no other program that could have better taught me these important values and life skills, from concerts and performances at the age of 10 all the way to high school leadership roles. The nourishment provided by these programs goes far beyond music and performance. I truly believe that I'm a better student, citizen, and person today with the skills I've acquired from my music education. The perspective I'd like to bring to the table today has been said before, but it's extremely important, so I would like to say it again. There is a distinct difference between the orchestra and band programs. As a kid who participated heavily in both, I know firsthand how beneficial it is to have educators who specialize in a variety of disciplines. It is to my understanding that the reassignments that are being proposed would cause teachers trained in wind and band instruments to teach general music or orchestra classes and vice versa. As a student who has spent my entire childhood and teen years in band and orchestra, I can say that a band director teaching orchestra is similar to its scientist teaching algebra. Though these disciplines go hand in hand, it is extremely important for kids to have teachers who are experts in these distinct programs. Our teachers have devoted their lives to providing my peers and I with excellent education and nourishment in not only music but in life as a whole. Their roles are by no means easy and by all means important. It is of utmost importance that we as a community listen to these wonderful people and support our diverse music programs that enhance not only our students' lives but our community as a whole. Thank you.
So that's all the signups, but we do have 25 minutes left in the first period. So if you didn't sign up and want to approach the podium, just don't let anybody double dip during this period, okay? Try to keep it to 3 minutes.
Good evening, Jerry Kraus, Langhorne. About the third time I've seen you guys, so here I am again. I want to talk about two words that came up tonight, quality and efficiency. Quality and efficiency in education are often mistaken as the same, but they are fundamentally different. And understanding this distinction is crucial. Efficiency in education is about doing things quickly with minimal resources. It focuses on outputs, how many students pass, how fast they complete a program, how cheaply we can deliver content. It's about throughput, getting students from point A to point B with the least waste. Quality, on the other hand, is about doing things the right way and well. It focuses on depth, understanding, and engagement, critical thinking, and long-term success of the learners. A quality education builds not just skills, but character, adaptability, and the capacity for lifelong learning. Now here's where quality must be paramount. The lasting impact. Education shapes lives. If we sacrifice quality for speed or cost, we may graduate students who are unprepared for real-world challenges. I know we're talking about music, but I'm actually talking about program and teacher cuts and funding cuts across the board. We may graduate students who are unprepared for real-world challenges, technically certified but functionally underdeveloped. A system that prioritizes efficiency over quality may seem cheaper up front, but becomes more expensive long-term through remediation, retraining, lost potential. That's the biggest thing here with the music department, is the lost potential. High-quality education is an investment, not an expense. Education isn't a factory, it's a developmental process. Students are not products to be processed quickly, but individuals to be nurtured. Reducing education to numbers misses the point entirely. In summary, while efficiency can support delivery, it must never define success. Quality is what gives education its true value, and without it, efficiency is just failure fast. Thank you.
My name is Jesse Grip, and I live in Feasterville, Trevose. I am a sixth grader at Requesting Middle School. Although I have trouble publicly speaking, I want to come up here and protest. I find it quite ironic how you have a sign on your wall that says, "Thank you to the school board for your continued support of our art and music programs," but you are harming your teachers and students by doing this. If you want the things on that sign to be true, you have to listen to your teachers and your students. I learned tonight from Tony Harvey that
that you excluded a music teacher, Mrs. Cassidy, from a meeting that affects her job and her husband's, Mr. Cassidy. How can you make such decisions without listening to your community? Tonight I could hear Mrs. Cassidy herself making her speech and running out of breath just trying to speak against this, and I pray that you listen to her. Listen to these ideas. Do not be indifferent to our causes, and please help our music program. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Jack Walliver, and I wanted to take this time to discuss the actual teachers who we have here at Neshaminy School District within our music program. I am a senior and I'll be graduating tomorrow, and I will be attending. And in the fall, I will be attending LaSalle University, where I will be happily continuing to be involved with music by being involved with their pep band and jazz band. I wanted to take the time that I have here tonight to discuss how important and impactful many of the music teachers in our district have been on my life. I am grateful to say that I have gotten to work individually with many of the music teachers that we still have here in our district, and that I've built relationships with ones who I did not get to work with individually outside of music. These people are some of the most important in my life and have shaped me and built my future the way I want it to be. As a school district, we are very, very fortunate to have such a large group of quality music educators who don't just care not only about the music they're teaching, but also building relationships with their students. And I find it very hurtful to myself and all of the other students involved in music at the district that we are looking to take away and limit teachers' ability to have an impact on students. I would not be in the position I am today to go into college with all the experience I have in music, if not for these teachers. And I would urge you all to reconsider that beyond the money and logistics of this, the human impact that your decision will have on the students in the Neshaminy School District. Thank you for your time.
All right, so we're on. I guess, first and foremost, we should probably note that how successful the program is because of the quality of student that are coming up. And oh, that's not on? Oh, I moved away from it. So yeah, I guess, like I said, oh, sorry, Dan McCoy, I'm a Langhorne resident. So yeah, like I was saying, clearly the program is turning out leaders because they're able to come up here and advocate for themselves. This is not the easiest thing that we could ever expect a high school student or younger to do. So without further ado, members of the board, again, thanks for having us so that we can all discuss this alignment that's been proposed. Others have definitely made the case better than I could that a lot of the arguments that need to be made that music is the music has given them or their children some kind of extracurricular that has improved their life, that has improved academic performance, or that has provided some kind of supportive or positive environment for them to help them be a better student. Instead, I'll just talk about what's really being cut, and that is the quality introduction access. As has been discussed, string and bass instruments are different and they're not like other extracurriculars. Very few people happen to have the instrument sitting in their garage where they can pick it up and introduce their children the way you can grab a ball and provide introductory study and by playing catch. Introduction has to be more specialized. It has to be taught by somebody who really knows what the instrument is in order to move things along. In order for a parent to grant that kind of high quality introduction, it requires intention, planning, and investment. And that's all on the chance that the instrument is actually going to resonate with the student. Not many are willing and able to do that, especially if they can't provide the instruction for themselves. Instead, this program is often a student's first and only experience with an instrument. So let's talk about the importance of the quality of that introduction. Their first experience is positive. It fosters an environment where they have a lifetime love of music gets forged. A negative one, and you have any spark of that gets squashed. Music becomes something that's just too hard for me to do, or that frustration's more than fun. That's what happened to me, and as I hear my daughter play, I regret that I never was able to move forward with it. Stretching teachers too thin, mismatching specialties, or reducing instructional time to frankly anemic levels, that's how we get kids to quit and how we get them to forego the opportunities that are ahead of them. Prior years in graduating classes have all had the benefits of the kind of robust access to elementary music ed that exists right now, and it shows. Neshaminy as band and orchestra have consistently had high performance. We've always had We've had a bench of, it's provided a bench of highly motivated, talented people to be able to take over for the existing seniors and to provide a deep pool of talent for the directors to draw from when it comes time to put together a new string or put together new groups. When we take away the options, when we take the building blocks away, it takes away what they can work with later on. Fewer sparks in elementary mean fewer kids stay with it, fewer kids get introduced, and they have fewer tools to work with. What we're really asking for is to have the incoming classes have the same access to the same programs that pretty much everyone in the room has benefited from. We're asking you not to pull the ladder up behind you or us for that matter. Don't let our legacy be that this class was the last one that had truly high quality early music education. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dan Weiner. I am a resident of Yardley, and I'm a proud instrumental music teacher here in Neshaminy. When I graduated college and started looking for jobs, I had 14 interviews that summer with other districts across Pennsylvania and New Jersey. In the late summer, a job opened in Neshaminy. Neshaminy was the kind of district in which you had to know someone to get a job to work for them. Thankfully, one of my professors knew Dr. Ray Bacutti, who at the time was assistant superintendent. I got the interview and I got the job. Getting a job in Neshaminy is the kind of job I used to dream about in college. It was all about the neighborhoods, the communities, the academics, the values to me. It was the type of community of what we all pictured working in. Like when you watch a TV show or when you picture what you're reading in like a Chuck Klosterman novel, so Americana. It took me a few years for me to get a contract with the district because I was going for long-term sub positions all over, but it was worth the wait. Over the last 24 years that I've been here, we've had so many triumphs as a community, notably a music community. Some of you know that I directed our high school's jazz band for 16 years, when I would take the students to competitions, performances, regional music conferences, Pennsylvania All-State, and even all Eastern festivals. Yeah, I'm bragging a little bit. People would be in awe of the Neshaminy reputation, not just musically, but just in general. We held a lot of clout amongst many areas of the Northeast Corridor. The music history of our district has produced so many legendary and iconic music teachers, such as Ted Cluse, Roy Nelson, Harry Dengler, Dr. Ron Daggett, Bill Bell, Ray and Lisa Bacutti, the recently retired Mike Lipton, Donna Mila Grand, Helen Kirsch, and now current legends, such as Jason Lee, Beth Synagoga, and Kristen Nichols. And currently, we have an amazing new staff, of which some of them are my former students. What's been happening with our music department over the last couple of weeks has been tragic. It's always been about what's best for the students. The students need to be taught by music teachers that specialize in orchestra and band and help feed one another through the natural progression of the grades. If we keep the current discourse of staffing, not only will the music program suffer, but most of the students will all suffer. We cannot lose the status of being one of the most revered music communities in all of Pennsylvania. We are not only revered with our music, but with our academics, our athletics, and most importantly, our textbook Americana community that we all dream about living in, working in, and being a part of. Our recently closed Neshaminy Middle School band used to open each concert marching in the auditorium, chanting, "Who are we? Neshaminy. What are we? Proud." Let's continue being proud and remember who we are. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mike Zimmerman. I live in Langhorne. I really just have 2 points I'd like to add to the commentary tonight. First of all, a quote from a former principal mentor of mine. Before I had the privilege of coming to work in Neshaminy, I currently work in Ben Salem. I worked in Lower Merion for 10 years, and my principal at the time told me, Mike, if you can make all of your decisions today with the children's best interest in mind, then you've done your job. And I've lived my entire career trying to do that. I want to take a moment and acknowledge this music staff, because it is probably, undoubtedly, the hardest working department in your school district. Tonight, Mike Pettis has the marching band in. Tomorrow, they're going to be at graduation performing for you, along with Kristen Nichols and their choir. Today, at Maple Point's graduation, the band and the choir also played and sang. We are a part of this community. And to take that part of it away, I think is a shame. Which brings me to my second point, and that is the community piece. When you start moving teachers from building to building, from program to program, you are ripping apart the fabric of what this is. What we do as music teachers is build a community. We build a family. These kids that you're hearing tonight, that's why they're here. For some of them, that's their only purpose in school. That's the reason they get up. That's the reason they go to school. That's the reason they're successful. That's when they were failing in class, the band director said, hey man, you got to get your grades up or you can't march. The choir director said, listen, I know you're struggling. What's going on? I called Miss Nichols one day because I was concerned about my daughter, who was concerned about a friend who had threatened to take her life. And I knew that my friend, Kristen Nichols, would look after my daughter who was concerned about her friend. That's the community that we build. And if you start moving these people around, they can't build that program. They can't have a program for 1 year and go to another building and continue to build it like that. That's not how music works. It doesn't function in that fashion. And I don't think anybody in this room wants to see these programs go away. I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you do for our school district. Please consider keeping this position and listen. Your lead teacher spoke absolutely fantastically tonight. I was absolutely impressed. You should listen to her. She knows what she's doing. Thank you.
Hold on
Good
for 1
evening.
second. This will be the last speaker for the first comment period. Okay, and then we'll go to the second period after we do some board business.
Oh, okay. Good evening. My name is Joseph Molillo. I'm a junior at Neshaminy High School and a resident of Feasterville, Trevose. I discovered music at a young age, but I didn't really know anything about it. I had no knowledge of what I was doing, and I always had the desire to play music. And thanks to my band director, Mr. Cassidy, in middle school at Pequessing, I discovered that I can do this, that I want to do this, and that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. In this wonderful community we have here in the district, I was encouraged to try new things with music that I had never even thought of. Mr. Cassidy, when I was in middle school, encouraged me to audition for jazz band, and I had never played jazz before. I had no idea about jazz. I had no idea that I liked it. I had never really listened to it. And I found out that not only do I love jazz, but later in high school that I want to make a career out of it. I'm also a member of the wind ensemble, the Triumph Music Honor Society, and the jazz band. So mainly, the reason I was able to do all of these things was because of opportunity. And by moving our amazing music educators not only in multiple locations, but also into positions that are not their area of expertise, the students are being deprived now, not all students, but some students will be being deprived of that opportunity. And as I and countless others have said and have shown, those opportunities are what fuel careers, what fuel passions, can really change someone's life and then make them go on to change the lives of others through maybe music education positions or playing music. And with what the district has proposed, it wouldn't really be giving all students the equal opportunity to be able to do this and to discover the wonders of this amazing music program we have here. And I feel that I speak for most people in this room when I say that we all want everyone to have as many opportunities as possible to discover music and to discover what they really love. And I'd like the district and the administration to reconsider the plans that they've set forward, because that just would not work the same way. Not everyone have the same opportunity. So thank you for your time.
We're done with this comment period, okay? Next period's in about 4 hours. You should be good. That brings us to section 2, resolutions. Mrs. Hollenbeck?
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'd like to make a master motion for, excuse me, 2.01 certificated retirements, resignations, 2.02 certificated appointments, 2.03 certificated leaves of absence, 2.04 certificated leaves of absence end date revisions, 2.05 certificated ancillary appointments, 2.06 support retirements resignations, 2.07 support leaves of absence, and 2.08 contracted services for 2025 through 2026.
We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Allen. Comments or questions?
I would also like to comment of the passing of two of our teachers, Michael, I don't want to pronounce it wrong, Yurkowicz, passed away suddenly. He was a cleaner.
Was a teacher,
Cleaner at Maple Point Middle School, so we are sorry for your loss there for his family. And also Donna Jackson, who was a suspension room aide at Sandburg, who was with us for 25.1 years. Thank you.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay. That brings us to section 3, the items for approval at the public board meeting. 3.01 will be routine business matters. 3.02 will be the 2025-2026 final operating budget. 3.03, the homestead and farmstead exclusion. 3.04, stop loss insurance 2025-2026. 3.05, the year-end budget transfers. 3.06, budgetary adjustments for federal and other programs. 3.07, student activity accounts. And that's it. Can I get there's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Okay. Okay. That's right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. That brings us to the committee reports. Business operations, Mrs. Hollenbeck.
Thank you again, Mr. Sullivan. Last week, I believe it was Wednesday, we had our last business operations committee meeting for the school year. We will resume back up in the fall, September, or October. We do not have a new date for that. Some of the things that we did discuss at the Business Operations Committee last week was the budget, along with the music program. We also got an update on the Fieldhouse project at the high school, the road project outside of this building, some of our summer projects, and we discussed having a company come in and do a study on EIT if it's worth it for us to pursue that. Again, as soon as we know what the new schedule is for business operations in the fall, that will be published on the website. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hollenbeck. Educational Development, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. We do not have a date for our next committee meeting, but I would like to congratulate the seniors that will be graduating that attended tonight's meeting. It was at Lorelei, Romeo Angelini, Jack Walliver, and if I missed someone, I apologize. But I'd like to congratulate everyone that is graduating tomorrow. It's exciting, and also as far as the recognition awards, just another round of applause for them. I thought that was wonderful as well. Thank you.
Mrs. Lafferty is not here. Was anyone, okay, so we'll pass on the policy. Are you there?
Yeah, policy, again, we don't have a date for the next meeting. It'll come in the next calendar year. Thanks.
There'll be no IU report. Ms. Walbeezer isn't here. Neshaminy Education Foundation, Mr. Sporny.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I do not have an update or any reading. But I will say, at the end of the year, for everyone involved with the NEF, thank you for spending the time. There's a handful, or many handfuls of individuals that spend time. As we can see, when people take their time to advocate for things they're passionate about, you know, that's what it's all about. So I just want to take all the people involved with the NEF. There's a lot of former teachers, a lot of people involved with the district, and spend a lot of time of their own time to raise money to put back into the district to make education better. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. PSBA.
I do have a report at this time. No, just PSBA is continuing to track the state budget process, which should be wrapping up at the end of the month, hopefully. And at that time, they'll provide an analysis of what those budget decisions at the state level have in terms of impact on the individual districts. So,
Thank you. Mr. Allen, Technical Support School.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. The Bucks County Technical High School Joint Board Committee met May 19th, 2025. Couple agenda items. Our own Mr. Bowman was approved as the Superintendent of Record. I've mentioned it before, it's official now. I was appointed the voting delegate for the Pennsylvania School Board Association's meeting on October 21st for the tech school. We found a replacement for, we approved the employment of.
It's the replacement.
I'll be quick, I'm sorry. That Mr. Anthony D'Amedio has been approved for employment as our culinary arts instructor to replace Chef Colin Marsh. Very big shoes to fill. We were all concerned about that, but we are happy that we found a suitable replacement. Mr. D'Amedio worked under Chef Marsh, so we assume that'll be a smooth transfer and continue the excellence that is known in that department. We also have a tentative agreement between our professional support association that I'm happy to report on after negotiations on that. Now, more important, our students. I have a couple of students to point out that I'm proud of. Our April Students of the Month from the tech school that are Neshaminy students. We have in 10th grade Anthony Vendetti, and in the 11th grade we have Carter Nagel. As again, I said they were Students of the Month for April. Now, the Skills USA State Leadership and Skills Conference winners, I am proud to present from Neshaminy. I have I need my glasses, this is small print. Gary McCordle in Diesel Technology, and Cole Dransfield of Cabinet Making, both Neshaminy students who placed third place, the bronze medal. I have a Riley Duffy from Neshaminy, and Julianne Prell of Neshaminy, and Caleb Crompton of Neshaminy. We have Career Pathways, Industrial Engineering Technology, and I'm sorry, Riley Duffy was for Web Design and Development. Those are second place winners, silver medal. In the gold medals, first place, I have a Louis D. Durazio of Neshaminy in Motorcycle Service Technology. And that brings me to Carter Negel, who was also a student of the month. Carter Negel of Neshaminy, CNC programmer, winning the gold at the Skills USA conference. Then he and his family, planes, trains, automobiles, possibly horseback and bicycle, to make it to the Midwest the same day, I believe Indianapolis, to compete, and he placed in that as well. Very proud of Mr. Negel. That brings us to graduation for the tech school will be this coming Thursday night at the Core Arena in Trenton. And our next meeting of the joint board will be June 23rd, 2025. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Okay, now we come to the closing section of the meeting, which brings us to the second public comment period. Same policies apply that were stated earlier. This is a 30-minute period if need be. So if there's anyone who hasn't spoken in the first comment period, see, it wasn't 4 hours, so it was all right.
Okay. Hello, my name is Noah Kelly. I'm a resident of Feasterville. So I just want to express to the board thank you. And the point of me speaking is to elaborate on the importance of the music department to me personally. So a bit about myself. I have been impaired with a speech impediment since as long as I can remember. So naturally joined the Tawanka. It was Tawanka. In third grade, I joined with Mrs. Kirsch with the upright bass, and I stuck it out all through COVID. And I got to high school. The reason I played bass was because I wanted to be in the jazz band, and that was a huge dream of mine. And so this past year, that dream was realized with the amazing Mr. Brown in the back with the hat. He's wonderful. Yeah. And I came to an enlightenment halfway through the season that through the music department, I found my voice. I know that sounds weird because it's not like a language, but the music department to me gave me my language to speak. And with this policy and this agenda to restrict and bar these kids from experiences and from playing music, this policy bars them from speaking their mind and having a voice. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Evan Kraus. I live in Langhorne and I go to Neshaminy High School. And I just wanted to talk about how the music program has affected me as an individual and how it's affected others throughout its lifetime. And I'm going to start off with saying when I was, before I joined the Low Voice Choir led by Mr. O'Neill, I had severe anxiety. I could barely talk really in front of anyone. I used to basically freeze up when talking to anyone. And one day, Mr. O'Neill went up to me right before school and he said, "Yo, dude, join Low Voice Choir. You sound great." And I joined, and it was probably the single best decision I've made in my life. It's helped me overcome a lot of my fears and helped me just like be more out and open to people. And I think that's going to really help me throughout my life. And I know it's helped a lot of other people. There's been a ton of awards that the music program has won, and we don't want to take that away from any future people because I know everyone aspires to win one of those awards. It's a huge opportunity and honor for them. And not just the awards, but the fact that everyone, it's just a fun and welcoming environment to be in. And if you take that away from them, it's not just taking away the awards and all the praise you get, but it's also taking away their joy. And that is possibly one of the worst things you can do to a human. Thank you for letting me speak up here.
My name is Louisa H. I live in Feasterville, Trevose, PA. I am new to the music program. This year was my first year playing music. I played the bass. Miss Lewis made me want to play again next year, and because I had such a good experience, I want to play a band instrument. Miss Lewis helped me get better and to practice. She loved me, and if she did leave me and the music program at Furtabar, I would be heartbroken. And I'm not used to seeing Mr. Wiener, but I know he is a very encouraging teacher, which is perfect for young kids like me. Please listen to our music teacher's advice. I did, and it made me better for it.
Hi, my name is Nancy Zimmerman. I live in Langhorne. First, I'd just like to say to all the music teachers in the room, I have 3 kids, 2 of which have graduated. Both went on to be music majors in college, and 1 just graduated. Thank you. Thank you. My youngest just moved up today in 8th grade. Thank you for helping him survive middle school. He could not have gotten through it without you. So from my bottom of my heart, I appreciate all of you. But I'm here today because I'm concerned. Today I had a conversation with admin about consolidating the music department, and we talked about my concerns. She assured me that the admin had spent hours listening to the lead teacher and had taken and followed all of the recommendations. She kept saying there is misinformation being spread. I've never talked to the lead teacher, but hearing her tonight and how upset she was concerns me because it's not what admin is telling the parents. We need to trust the people in charge of our children's education and have confidence in their leadership, and how can we when they are not honest with us? As parents, we know what is best for our kids. Please give us reason to have confidence in your decisions. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nancy. I moved to Feasterville about 3 years ago. And before coming up to this area, my daughters had no experience in music at all. Since then, both of my daughters have joined the musical program at Furtabar, with my older daughter continuing to Pequessing under the amazing leadership of these phenomenal music teachers. They have, encouraged them to want to love music, want to love, the program and what it does for them, as children to grow and to thrive in this. So many things don't make sense about these terrible decisions. Not including the teachers, number one, and any decisions is extremely disappointing and disrespectful. There was obvious knowledge of the teacher retiring in December. Why not then start discussion with music teachers, or at a minimum including the lead teacher, music teacher Mrs. Cassidy, to prevent what is going on right now? Not only did the board, want to not fill the vacant position, now you want to move these teachers around, putting them into specialties that they do not have experience in. How are they expected to teach and help children gain confidence as they are taught by these teachers? What are you telling these children in the music program, that they are not important enough to your numbers? It seems that this was trying to be sent through under the radar so that it wouldn't have attention brought to it. I encourage you to please rewind and revisit Mrs. Alexis Cassidy's speech earlier today so that you get a better understanding of what the administration is actually doing to these teachers and children. To conclude, would you like to have your knee replacement from an orthopedic doctor or a dermatologist? Have a great night.
My name is Juliana Grip. I live in Feasterville, Trevose, and I'm a current 7th grader and percussionist from Bookwessing Middle School. I'm sitting here listening how kids might get turned away because there isn't enough time to teach them with the new plan. Yes, kids can get private lessons if their families can afford it, but there is nowhere that I know where children can join a band or orchestra outside of the school district. For example, if I wouldn't make the Bookwessing softball team, I could still play rec ball at LSA. This is not the case for band and orchestra, since they have nowhere to go, especially since the precision and instrumental knowledge of our district has is the best around. For this reason alone, the music program should be nurtured, not hindered. Thank you.
My name is Linda Pritchard, and I live in Langhorne. Our oldest child graduated from Neshaminy in 2001. Our youngest is set to graduate in 2026, and we have had 3 graduates in between. So we have been Neshaminy parents for a very long time. We know firsthand what a gem the Neshaminy Music Program is and how many accolades and awards it has earned the district. Long time ago, as a first-time elementary school parent, however, I didn't know any of that. I had no idea what an impact Neshaminy music would have on our children, or if they would even stick with it. We decided to give it a try, and we were literally holding our ears when they first started practicing, because it sounded pretty bad. But I will never forget the first concert, though. I was completely blown away by how good Sean O'Neill had those kids playing in just a couple months. I was astounded. Just a few months of learning. It certainly hadn't sounded like that at home. Our kids continued with music, some through middle school and some through high school. And I already described the impact it had on them the last time I was here, a couple meetings ago. But that foundation was laid in elementary school. And if the elementary program is diminished, the entire program will be affected. And I find it very sad that new elementary parents and students might have no idea what they are missing. If they're not Neshaminy alum from the music program, they just won't realize what they could have had. I understand that you need to be fiscally responsible. I do. It seems to me, though, that the plan which has been chosen, this complete reshuffling of the itinerant teachers, will be the most disruptive. And I urge you to reconsider and ask for clarity about why this is the plan which was selected and recommended to you. How does it make sense? Please ask. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Logan Leach, and I live in Levittown. I just wanted to come up here and talk about the current situation. I just had move-up day ceremony earlier today with the rest of my grade here at Maple Point, and performing is something that I learned at a very young age and have learned through my family, but not just that, through the people that I have gone through it with, like my choir director, Mr. Tosti, or even getting to know the other music teachers like Mr. Tanicello and Miss Sinagoga. Making the connection with all of them, knowing that even if the person that Mr. Tosti isn't there, I can go to somebody else and respectfully talk to them, and they'll understand what's happening. Always help. Removing and moving everybody around takes away those opportunities from people to just go, and if they're having trouble in their day, go and talk to somebody that they trust, and that just makes everything else in the school just change and become different. Thank you.
My name is Josh Neal, and I'm a part of the band. First, Miss Patrick started me in chorus, and in third grade, I joined strings. I played the cello with Mrs. Lewis, but then I changed to the drum. Mr. Wiener is the best teacher you could ever ask for, so I deeply believe that you're making the wrong decision because he won't be my band teacher next year. Without him and Mrs. Lewis and Mrs. Patrick, I wouldn't have learned that I love music. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Valverde and I live in Levittown, PA. I am also a senior graduating tomorrow. I currently don't really have a voice today. I'm a little sick, but I thought I should still come up here and say that I moved to Pennsylvania my third grade year, and it being a completely different state, I had nowhere to go and didn't know like anyone here. Not even family member were living here. It was just me and mine. So I first came in and saw that there was music, and I always liked it, but never really thought to play it. And that is when I had started in third grade going into orchestra, playing violin with Miss Kirsch. And while she was hard on me, I think I think that it really that just kind of seeing what all that work can put in and hearing myself create a sound that I never knew like I could before really helped, and it broke me out of my shell more and more. And that transitioned into fourth grade when I went into band as well. And I think without those 2 years of having the support of two different music teachers teaching me two different kinds of instruments and different kinds of ensembles as a whole, I don't think I'd be here now choosing to go into a career in music education as well. And I also know that a handful of the music teachers here had gone through Neshaminy School District, chose to do music education, and also are now teaching in this school district. So I urge you to reconsider all your choices with this decision. Thank you so much for your time.
Hello, my name is Hayden Carter and I live in Levittown. I just wanted to talk about community between the music program and me. Listening to all these kids speak today, these awesome experiences that they have throughout their elementary, middle school, and high school years, it's had me reflect on my past years. And from third grade, I joined choir and I loved singing, but I didn't know why I wanted to stay in choir so much, whether it was, my friends making fun of me or anything like that. But as I've gotten older, I realized it's the community that we've made. I've finally realized that looking around all these people, they've motivated me to be the person that I am today. And I just auditioned for select choir, and I got in, and people like my brother, my mom, my dad, Kristen Nichols, they all motivated me to pursue that path and to stay on that track. And people like Miss Ryderek, Danny O'Neill, they motivated me when I was younger. And without them, without that community, all these people that we have that are in this in the music department, they wouldn't all they wouldn't be the same people. Everyone is a good person in this department, and I feel like that starts with the music teachers. And without those people to build that community, we wouldn't be here today. So I just would like you guys to rethink your decision on trying to break apart this community that has taken so much time to be built. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to close the second comment period and continue with the closing of the meeting. Anyone have any future topics at the board? Okay. Brings us to board comment.
Sure. How you doing, Mr. Sullivan? I want to thank everyone for coming out, and especially want to thank all the music teachers that are here tonight, the music department. It seems like we have high school, middle school, and elementary here, so thank you for coming out tonight. I sent the board, my comments earlier today. I'm not going to comment any further. Most of you that were here on the last board meeting pretty much know where I stand. So only I can say is that I appreciate you all coming here. I would like to see this more in committee meetings and more board meetings because that's, really you get to know the board, we get to know you individually as well. So again, thank you, and I appreciate you all.
I also want to echo Carlos's thoughts. Thank you all for being here, especially those graduating tomorrow. That's a really exciting time. I'm excited to be back at graduation for the first time in 14 years when my niece graduated. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being a voice for the music program. Thank you to the teachers for all you do and the time that you put in and the collaboration. And I wish everyone luck this summer. Have a great night.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I want to thank everyone who came out tonight and spoke on behalf of the music department. As I've said many times, how much music has meant to me. I can feel your passion, and I just appreciate the fact that the community has come out and shared your views with us. That's big. That doesn't always happen. So it's great to hear your views. Especially, I want to point out our students who came and spoke. I am always so pleased to have them speak their mind. And speak so intelligently and eloquently. That's always a nod to their education here in Neshaminy. I'm proud to hear. I want to move on to our graduates. Tonight, I also talked about our tech school graduates on Thursday and our own tomorrow night. And I want to congratulate them and our seniors. And I want to congratulate everyone who's moved up, moving class-wise and all. And hope everyone has a great summer. We'll see you before that, but thank you. Thank you.
I would just like to follow up and thank the 4 teachers again that won their awards. We don't say it enough how well the teachers are, and we appreciate all of their service. So thank you again, and congratulations for Kelly Alberts, Carrie Hammond, Megan Cahill, and McKenna Mullen. Thank you for your service and dedication to Neshaminy. I too would like to congratulate the class of 2025 for your graduation tomorrow. It looks like it's supposed to be a beautiful sunny day. So we don't have to worry about this rain that seems to have been going on for days and days and days now. And I would also like to wish everybody, all the students, enjoy your summer. And we will see you all back. Well, we still have a meeting, but all the kids will be done and the students will be done. We will see you all in the fall. Thank you.
And I get to go last. I'd like to thank everyone. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll let Mr. Sullivan go last. I just want to thank everybody for coming out to all of these meetings, and I imagine we will see you on the 24th, most, if not many of you. It's really important for people to be heard and to get the opportunity to share their thoughts. And these are not easy topics or discussions or anything along those lines. So thank you all for taking the time out of your night to still be here at 8:45 on a school night. But also just for continuing to show up to share your thoughts on these issues. And just another plug for committee meetings come the fall. We hope to see many of you at those too. And congratulations to all the graduates. And now you can have your last word.
Unless Mr.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Sullivan, you're gonna have to wait your turn there, sir. No, I don't have much to say. Just as we kind of fly down the highway in the left lane through another school year, going into half days here, I just want to say as a parent, thank you to all the teachers, custodians, people who help put on lunches, and bus drivers, all sorts of people who help in all sorts of ways. It's really I appreciate being a part of this district. I appreciate being a parent and going to field day and seeing all these parents there and all these cars that are probably happening at all these schools that I'm also not at. So I think that's really great. Last thing I want to say, the 2025 graduates really kind of hit me because I graduated 2000, so 25 years, a long time ago. For every student who spoke tonight, I just want to say you should be really proud of yourselves. Everyone really, let everyone know how they felt, and everyone, you always kind of second guess yourself coming up here and saying something, but everyone should be really proud of how they handle themselves, and it kind of shows community here. I heard community a lot, and I say that sounds cheesy, but it's a true thing. I'm a Neshaminy person, and I appreciate everyone taking the time to be here, so thank you.
I guess I was thinking here a little bit that I am very familiar with the music program. Mrs. Kirsch's back there. She taught my son. My daughter's a freshman at the high school, and so I get the whole program, and I'm glad everyone came out tonight. And the decisions that we have to make up here are not easy. And something was said tonight that actually bothered me a little bit. I trust the administration, and I've trusted them for the last 10 years I've been on this board. And they have a tough decision to make. And I know they vet everything that they have to vet and all the information. It may not be popular decisions, and we don't make popular decisions, but they have to do what's right for the district, just as we do, and the entire district. And that's all I have. With that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned.